want a window unit? It's a,
Oh,
aesthetic, easy.
we had one in, why don't we get one?
Yes.
We had a regular one in here before that.
Yeah,
Years
I
ago.
remember years and years ago.
Pat essentially.
Call the July 28, 2016 meeting of the Foster Town Council to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I have an email from the Secretary of State's open meeting website indicating that this meeting was posted on July 26th at 5:06 p.m. So we are in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. I wanted to note the passing of two local residents this past week. Nick Norm, the former veterinarian from the Road, and Pat Cogashell, who was a former employee of the Department of Public Works. And I'd like to ask for a moment of silence in their honor. Thank you. Okay, I have two other announcements. The townhouse has been cleared by the fire marshal. They did the inspection according to you asking at the last meeting. It has been cleared. We have it in writing, and our next meeting will be back there. We could have been back there tonight except for roll call vote, so our next meeting will be back.
Kelly doesn't like the benches, but.
Well, this is gonna be a quick meeting.
Well, the benches don't like Kelly.
And also,
That's meant in a nice way.
And also, I just wanted to share this picture with you. This is a picture of all World War II veterans returning 1945, 1946. They gathered in Moosup Valley Grange. And this picture was given to me by Hank Luther, who's one of the World War II veterans. His name is up here at the top of the new monument. And he gave this, asked me to frame it, and I thought a good place would be in here with the veterans rosters.
That's
So
the same one that hangs at Shady Acres, right?
I
Yes.
think so,
Yes.
yes.
They're redoing the whole thing right now, all new roofs, scraping, painting, and everything, the whole building.
The Grange?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
My mother's involved with the Grange.
And if anyone wants to know who he is, I was unaware. He showed me, he's this gentleman over here that's by himself against the edge of the building.
I say we put that one in the middle and shift George over to the
There's a
side.
lot of dumb bottles, Reno Tickman's in there.
Oh, you know Melissa.
Yeah. I was actually when I was at that monument out there, I know like almost 80% of them.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so there is no one signed up for public comment. We'll move to minutes, July 21st.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from June 21st as presented.
Second.
Discussion?
June 23rd or 21st?
21st, there are three sets of minutes here,
Okay.
21, 22, 23.
Okay.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously. June 22nd is the joint meeting with the Situate Town Council.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from June 22nd as presented.
For a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Can we go back one, there is a correction on, sorry, on June
Let's, all
21st.
right,
Yeah.
let's finish this. We have a motion on the table.
Sorry, oh, I thought we, sorry.
Motion on the table for June 22nd. Any discussion on June 22nd? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. What do you want to say about that?
My bad, Susan.
Oh, well, Susan did those, I will.
Thank you.
I think that's just typographic.
Oh, I know it is,
I don't think we
but
need a motion to.
I just want to, it's just weird.
Sorry.
Minutes,
Sorry.
minutes from June 23rd, you had one in your package, and Jane Castelli advised one this evening. I asked her to remove the names of the people who we nominated for Citizens of the Year, because that shouldn't be public until tomorrow evening, when the award is given. So it was just changed that Mr. Lewis, under reconvene to open session, Mr. Lewis announced one vote was taken in executive session, nominating the 2 citizens of the year, presenting the plaques, and their names were removed. So this, is there a motion to accept this revised set of minutes from June 23rd?
I never received the original, so I will make a motion to accept the revised June 23rd minutes as presented. Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Warrants.
I make a motion that we accept payroll warrant number 1 in the amount of $38,998.20.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Payroll warrant number 2.
Make a motion that we accept payroll warrant number 2 in the amount of $35,687.79.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. General warrant number 24.
Make a motion that we accept payroll warrant number 24 in the amount of $8,354.39.
Second.
General one.
General warrant, I'm sorry.
General warrant number 24.
Thank you.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. General warrant number 2.
Make a motion that we accept general warrant number 2 in the amount of $17,658.49.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Monthly reports.
I would just like to make a note before we begin. I do have 2 building and zoning department.
I think it's May.
In case when somebody,
Building and zoning.
yes, so I'm wondering if somebody didn't get one in their packet.
I did, I got it.
Okay, great. I make the motion that we accept the following monthly reports for the month of June. Building and zoning, Department of Public Works, which also included May. Finance Department, Human Services, Planning Department, Police Department, and Rhode Island Resource Recovery Corporation. Tax assessors was not included.
Second.
Discussion on the reports? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Quarterly reports?
I make a motion that we accept the following quarterly reports for April to June. Emergency Management, Conservation Commission, Engineering Board, Forster Ambulance Corps, Forster Center Fire Company, Forster Home Repair, Forster School Committee, Libraries, Moosup Valley Fire Department, Planning Board, Recreation Committee, South Forster Fire Company, Tax Board of Review, Zoning Board of Review. Not included were the Board of Canvassers and Land Trust.
Second.
Discussion on the quarterly reports? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Old business, the bid award for the recreation field, clearing, chipping, stumping, and grading. We have a recommendation from the Public Works Director. I've had the opportunity to review the bids for the recreation field project. I recommend the town use Premier Tree Service LLC for the complete tin clearing, chipping, stumping, stump removal, disposal, and grading leveling project for the sum of $116,000 to be paid at the satisfactory completion of the project. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the recommendation by the Department of Public Works Director.
Second.
Second.
Discussion?
I've had some questions, which Mr. Cardillo was not here. Okay. I was wondering about erosion, what's going to happen when this is cleared. I'm not sure what the timely fashion is going to be, rain, et cetera. Is it going to be on 94? There's wetlands back there. How is that going to be? Is that included in this bid? I didn't see it.
I think it's all according to the plan. All the erosion control is in the plan.
It's in the,
It's in the overall plan.
Okay, because I see clearing and chipping, stump removal, grading and leveling, entire project.
Right, and according to plan, it's in the bid specifications, each of those things according to the plan. And in the plan, all the erosion control is laid out.
So how do we know in the plan what the erosion, how it will be handled? Is it putting down that spray grass? Is it putting netting down? What's, do we know? Whatever the plan says.
calls for.
Whatever the plan
Whatever the
says.
plan
Where
calls
can I
for.
see the plan?
You had a complete copy, but Juliana has a complete copy, Joe Cardillo has a complete copy, and,
We had a complete copy?
yeah, we
I
did.
don't recall seeing it. Okay, thank you, I'll look back in my packets.
One quick question, is that clearing the 5 acre parcel that's gonna be, for that bid was for the whole 5 acres, like 7 acre parcel, but 5 of it's utilized for phase 1, phase 2. Stumping was the entire 5, and leveling was the 5?
Correct. Further discussion?
Did we ever find out about whether this will count towards the grant?
It will. As part of my grant application, I requested a waiver of retroactivity and included stumping, clearing, and leveling. That was granted by DEM, so anything that we spend to develop this field, including our guys' hours, the money we spend on erosion control, contractors, can be credited towards the matching funds.
Have we already received that grant, or is this?
No, the grant won't be awarded till the end of the summer. This portion is not funded by the grant, this would be our matching.
Oh, I guess I didn't hear Mr. Restivo's question then.
Yes.
Mr. Restivo, could you repeat your question then?
I was just wondering whether we had received confirmation that if we were to pay this sum, that it would count as towards the town's contribution.
And the answer is?
Answer is yes, I have it in writing from DEM.
Okay, and so this piece of paper that Kelly just gave us, is this reflected from that grant, or is this something else?
This is something I requested, when I saw it on the agenda, I asked Kelly where the funds were gonna be coming from, and then I remembered the account that she was talking about, because we dealt with it when I was on the council. Now, I asked her if she could get a 10-year study on how much was in there, what was expended, and what's in there currently. The 24,000, is that when we bought them in?
That's when we bought the land. I looked at some of the expenses,
All right.
and they were all then related to the purchase, engineering fees and stuff like that.
And the reason why I asked that is I didn't know how fast this account grew and
Mhm.
how it went up, but it looks like it's since 2006 to current, even though we've spent almost $35,000, it's still double.
Mhm.
And just because everybody's asking, this is an earmarked account. Could you explain how this account was set up and how it's spent? Because that's the question that you reminded me of.
A certain amount of money when somebody divides, is it when they subdivide property, goes into this fund, and it was earmarked specifically by town ordinance for the land development for recreational purposes only. So you can't use it for recreation, meaning like, let me go purchase a swing set, but for development and maintenance of a parcel of land, you can.
Can't use it if Woody Loudon needs a roof or something, that can't be used in that manner.
It seemed like it was land development and for a recreation.
Well, the reason why I asked that,
Site.
there's times when we've had to spend thousands of dollars on repairing logs at Woody Loudon. I was just wondering if we could have,
I can tell you the origin of the whole state law that allows you to do that.
it was just a question, but.
What, at the origin of the state law, the purpose of it that allows you to even do something like this is because they want to keep it in land. In other words, even if a developer came in here, say, when they do the condos and have the common land,
Yep.
they make them pay a fee in lieu of as impact on the town, and that fee goes into an account for the town to get land back because land is being used.
Right.
So basically, it's
It's not like a maintenance.
fees
it's-
that are come from, that we can collect, but the fees need to be used to get us more land back, basically, that the public can use.
All right, well, my next question is, this is improving a playground, not purchasing more land, so. can
You're
it be
developing it, really.
Development,
Development.
There's nothing there.
Right.
You're not spending, like you said, on a swing set in a place that's already there. You are creating or taking land we own to make it usable for the public. So they're trying to gain space for the public, because you lose space and
But
other
once it's
things.
built, we can't use this to repair things there.
Not really.
I don't believe so.
It's also, what you can do, under the same statute, you can do is if you have, like we talked about, the businesses coming in, you can say in lieu of certain fees, you put it into this account in case we want to buy land somewhere else for the town, for the public.
I know the account, it's one of those accounts that just sits and nobody talks about, and it gets ignored for years and years, and then it pops up in a conversation about once every 10 years,
Certain parameters. that's
you
it.
know.
Yeah, the parameters
Yeah.
are so limiting that this is really its only purpose. So once this is done, I actually don't know what they'll do with it.
So
Hold
the
it until we
monies,
get another chance.
the monies for this clearing, the stumping, et cetera, would come out of
That
this fund.
Mhm.
Would it then go towards, it can kind of have a dual, it would go towards your grant too? It can have,
It can be used as matching funds against it.
They have to
so
give
it
us-
can do both?
Yes.
It doesn't have to come from the general fund.
Thank you.
Mr. Sebastian?
At some point, this land is going to be developed, and I think the council and the planning board should start to deal with what you're going to do with the Loudon. For the amount of money over the years I've been sitting here that we poured into this place, as Gordon just said, and the amount of usage it gets, being out of the way. Years ago, I tried to get this to be sold as a housing site and take the money and pour it back into some facility. That's at the farthest end of the town for a lot of people. This is centrally located, so maybe you want to consider at some point selling the lot and taking the money and putting it in to developing your building or your something. So that's planning. You may want to do that sometime.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. New business, additions and abatements for the tax assessor.
I make a motion that we honor the request of the tax assessor for the following changes to be made to the 2016 tax roll. Motor vehicle additions, total of $232.86. Tangible additions, a total of $11.87. Motor vehicle abatements, total of $170.86. Tangible abatements, total of $747.14.
Second,
Second.
discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Appointment to the Conservation Commission. We have a letter from the Conservation Commission Secretary Brendan Mara recommending appointment of Evelina Bushkowski, who's here this evening, and we have also her letter requesting appointment to the Conservation Commission. Is there a motion to make this appointment?
I make a motion, we accept the recommendation of Brendan Mara and Evelina Yuskowski to the Conservation Commission.
Second,
Second.
discussion?
Thank you very much for volunteering.
Yeah.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Would you like to come up and the town clerk will swear you in? And you will immediately do that.
Do you, Evelina Bushkowski, solemnly swear that you will be true and faithful unto the town of Foster and support the town charter, and that you will be true and faithful unto this state and support the laws and constitution thereof and the Constitution of the United States, and that you will well and truly execute the position of Conservation Commission member for which you have been appointed, or until another be engaged in your place, or until you be legally discharged therefrom, so help you God. Congratulations.
Okay, next item, request for use of town grounds for outdoor music concert from the libraries. They're requesting the use on Saturday, August 13th, 2 p.m. It's the pleasure of the council.
I make a motion that we honor the request for the use of town grounds for outdoor music concert by the libraries of Foster for August 13, 2016, from 2 p.m. to 3:30. I guess they want to use the supper shed in case of rain. The meeting house, is the meeting house going to be available?
That's the townhouse.
Right.
Yes,
So
and it's
it's
approved, you know, the building is approved, and there's nothing else happening there.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, the next two things are requests. The first request is from the Dare to Dream Ranch. They applied for a USDA grant to purchase property on Snagwood Road for their veterans programs.
Say it again?
I stopped. And they, as part of their grant application, requested from us, from the town council, a letter of support for her programs, Karen Dalton and Dare to Dream Ranch. So this doesn't obligate us to anything. There's no matching funds. All we're saying, if we choose to say it, is that we support the program. I took the liberty of drafting a letter. If you like it, you can approve it or edit it. I'll read into the record. Dear Sir, Madam, I am writing on behalf of the Foster Town Council in support of a recent grant application submitted to your agency by the Dare to Dream Ranch. The town of Foster supports the programs of the Dare to Dream Ranch for service members, veterans, and their families, and on September 24, 2016, approved their application for a 2015 Town of Foster Small Cities Community Development Block Grant. That's all it says.
Who is this to? Did I miss that?
This goes to Karen Dalton, who includes it in her grant application package.
For the
That's-
CDBG?
No, it's,
Okay.
the CDBG is a separate thing. This
All right,
is
that's
for
what
a
I-
USDA grant
Yep.
to purchase the property.
It's through, why does it say through the CDBG?
That demonstrated our support for her program,
Oh,
because we previously approved her to get that grant.
I know because of the CDBG. Her program, I do support, and I know what she does there. But this, what she's going for now is not tied to CDBG, right? This is something else.
This is USDA.
I make a motion to accept her request and submit a letter on her behalf.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? This letter satisfactory to everyone?
It works for them.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. The second request is from the Ambulance Corps. The Ambulance Corps has written a grant to DHS and FEMA to get 2 new monitors. I believe they're cardiac monitors, but they didn't tell me, so I just left that to it out. Again, this does not require any matching funds. They're just looking to see what the town supports going forward with this grant. I drafted this letter. Dear Sir, I am writing on behalf of the Foster Town Council in support of a recent grant application. I listed the number submitted to your agency by the Foster Ambulance Corps, PO Box 62, Foster, Rhode Island. The grant in question requests funding for 2 new monitors. Our town is located in the rural northwest corner of the state of Rhode Island, 30 minutes and 25 miles away from the closest hospital. Access to monitors is an essential component of emergency medicine. The monitors currently owned by the Foster Ambulance Corps are 15 years old and essentially antiquated. I get that information from Sharon's request. It's a great pleasure that I can tell you that Foster is a community with a large cadre of truly committed volunteer corpsmen and women to look after us in health emergencies. Given the right equipment, they can and have worked wonders. I can wholeheartedly endorse their request and hope your agency can support it as well. Is there a motion to accept?
I make a motion that we accept the request for a letter of support for the ambulance corps grant, and this letter seems sufficient.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Could I, and I'm sorry to do this again, but I have 2 copies of Sharon's letter. I don't know if somebody doesn't have one.
I have one.
Okay. Thank you.
They like you.
They do.
Okay, future agenda items as listed. One thing I wanted to point out in your FYI information, there's a few sheets from Prism, an inventory of the streetlights, and we're getting close to the time where we have to make a determination which ones to leave on, which ones to shut off, which ones to purchase, which ones to, how we're gonna handle them. So the DPW director wanted any input from individual council members, you have the maps with the different.
Send an email on
You
it.
can send an email, and here's some hard copies as well, so
Thank you.
that may be on next meeting or future meeting. Any other future agenda items other than the ones that are listed?
You notice in our informational packet, Old Home Days has responded to the location of the swap community heat out at the performance stage.
Yes,
I don't know if you want to put that on.
I think I have it listed
Yeah, but as future.
as future under item D.
All right.
And I will put it on when they can appear, so I want them to come and make a
Okay.
specific request. We
One
wanted,
when I saw this, why it wasn't actually on.
right, it's,
We have to get them back, Swamp Meadow hasn't come back to us.
Swamp Meadow hasn't come back, and they hedged just a little bit, they want input into the exact location. It's
Probably that might be it.
Barbara Alquist had said it in her letter. It's gonna be the back of the fairgrounds, in the front, exactly where it's gonna be, so I wanted Swamp Meadow to come and present that. So we know exactly, it doesn't just pop up someplace we didn't expect. Any other future agenda? Okay, then that concludes our meeting except for executive session. Can I get a motion to go into executive session?
I make a motion that we go into executive session.
No,
No.
it has to be read as a good formal.
And
About
we
that,
go
I
into
knew that as soon as-
section. Pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42.46.4, for the reasons stated in Rhode Island General Laws 46.5A2, for discussions or work sessions regarding collective bargaining, contract negotiations, or litigation.
Second. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're going to executive session, so